Hello? How are you? I hope you are doing well. Today's recipe is Labneh Balls. This recipe is typically prepared when milk is plentiful and is made solely from milk. The milk is kneaded and shaped into balls like this, then preserved in olive oil or a mixture of regular oil and olive oil. It can be stored for a whole year without any changes and can be kept at room temperature without spoiling. You will see the method and all the reasons for its success with me. I start by putting 7 kilos of fresh milk, which should come from farms that provide natural milk without mixing it with water or pasteurizing it. I heat the milk until it reaches a temperature of 45 degrees Celsius. If I don't have a thermometer, I can put my finger in the milk. If I can tolerate it for 10 seconds, that's the required temperature. If the temperature reaches 45 degrees, we can bear putting our finger in after the 10th second. This temperature is excellent. Then I add 200 grams of yogurt, or a heaping tablespoon of yogurt for each kilo of milk. We put a little milk over the yogurt and start whisking until it becomes smooth. Then I add the yogurt milk mixture to the liquid milk and mix them until they are well combined. We cover it and place it in a warm place until the milk solidifies, which may take a whole day, or until we see that the milk has solidified on top. After leaving it for 24 hours until the top layer solidified, when I shake it, the whey starts to separate. Now I place a strainer over a pot to drain the milk, then I put cheesecloth over it, preferably one designated for cheese straining, or use a light cheesecloth to drain all the whey and save time. The heavier the cheesecloth we use, the longer it will take. We put the curdled milk in the strainer and let it drain, adding more as needed until all the milk is drained. We wrap the labneh entirely in the cheesecloth and hang it somewhere in the house for a whole day to drain all the water and liquids. After draining all the water, we add some salt, which should be rock salt. And avoid using iodized salt because iodine causes the recipe to spoil. For such recipes, whether it's makdous or labna, which are prepared to last a whole year, we should use rock salt. The amount of salt here should be a heaping tablespoon or until we can taste the salt, because we will also drain the water from it, reducing the saltiness in the labneh. Now we shape it into balls. If you can't shape it this way after adding the salt, you can put it back in the cheesecloth and place a weight or heavy object on top to drain all the liquids, making it easier to shape into balls. The secret to shaping it this way is draining all the liquids using the cheesecloth in 2 stages. First, by placing a weight on it, and second, by hanging it for a day. After shaping it into the desired size, I cover it with kitchen towels, as shown in the video. This is the quantity, and we also ate some during preparation because it tastes so good. If we want to freeze it this way without putting it in oil, this is very possible at this stage, even without draining the remaining liquids. We can put it in the freezer and eat it whenever we want. However, I will show you the proper way to prepare it as it's done in its original country. As you can see, I finished covering it with paper towels on the top and bottom, changing the paper when it gets wet about 4 to 5 times. Every time the paper gets wet, I replace it with new paper until all the liquids are absorbed. This is the second secret to preventing the labna from spoiling. As you can see, the kitchen paper is from the bottom and top to drain all the liquids. Look at it. It's firm and well formed. If it reaches this consistency and has no liquids left, we can start the preservation process. As I told you, the first secret is using rock salt instead of iodized salt, and the second secret is draining all the water. If we want to preserve it in oil, we use olive oil. Some people mix regular oil with olive oil, which is perfectly fine. As you can see, we place it in a glass container and pour oil over it. I prefer preserving it in pure olive oil without adding any other oil. Those who love this recipe with olive oil will surely prefer this method. If you don't prefer olive oil, you can preserve it with a mixture of regular oil and olive oil. As you can see, I keep it all in an airtight container. This one is preserved in olive oil, and the other in regular oil with a bit of olive oil. You can also prepare it in different ways, such as adding thyme, black seed, or chili pepper when shaping it into balls if you want to add these ingredients. Finally, if you liked the recipe, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell button, and share the video with your loved ones. See you in another video.